New multi-viewer magic from Ensemble Designs. Stunning detail and simple setup. Easy, click-to-fill configuration from your Mac, PC, or iPad. The new Avenue Multi-Viewer from Ensemble Designs.
Thank you very much for joining us at the stand this afternoon. We're going to have a very brief presentation about quality control and how we can turn a cost into a business benefit. So first of all, why do we do QC? Why do we incur this cost in the first place? Well, it could be one of many reasons. Legal compliance. If we don't legally comply with things, we face fines. Maybe we do for compatibility or interoperability, making sure that we can exchange files between systems, between different workflows in our facilities. If we have to rework that, it costs us more money, so we need to QC files in that instance. Maybe it's about brand. Maybe our brand values dictate that we have to have the highest quality, and if we lose quality, we're not supporting our brand, we're losing revenues. So maybe it's about brand. Whatever it is, it's about money. We need to do QC. QC costs us money. It's a cost, it's an investment, and in order to turn that into a benefit, we need to maximize the return on that investment. So we're going to look very quickly at 3 different ways in which we can maximize that ROI. Lower OPEX per asset, smart use of the metadata we generate in QC processes, and increasing productivity through that data too. So first of all, QC methods. How could we reduce the operational expense of QCing files through QC methods? Traditionally in our industry, we might have QC'd files using a 3-spot check. We look at the beginning of the video, we look in the middle of the video, and we look at the end of the video. It's great, but we might miss the problems. It's very quick, it's low cost in terms of staff and resources, but we've had very little trust or confidence in the result. Alternatively, we might do 100% manual QC, view the file from end to end. Come on, little man. He's going to pick up the problems, or at least most of them, but it's going to cost us quite a lot of money because it takes more time and resource. And we still don't have huge confidence in that because we might need a lot of coffee to stay awake through that. And everyone's got an iPhone or smartphone in their pocket these days, and they're extremely distracting at times. Mine's buzzing away now. Additionally, unless you've got extra ears, how on earth do you QC a multi-channel file with several languages or measure loudness with your own ears? So even a full QC might not be enough. There's now lots of automated content verification systems on the market, automated QC products. And this is an actual report out of one which shan't be named, but you can see that there's lots and lots of data there. To get anything meaningful out of that data, it takes time and skill to work through all of the data and work out really what's the trust level in that file. So AQC on its own is not necessarily great either. So why don't we unify all 3 of those methods, bring them all together. We'll take the automated QC data, they're just events until we've qualified them with human judgment, place them on a timeline, and the little man can just go and check those important events that have been flagged up by the automated QC and detect whether or not they really are, and apply judgment to make sure that they really are errors or if they're not. This is going to be quick, so it's going to cost us little in terms of time and resource, and we have much more confidence than any of the other 3 methods on their own. So by combining the best of spot check, full manual QC and automated content verification, bring them together in a unified process, we enable easier decision making and put it on a single timeline, reducing the time needed to fully QC an asset and therefore reducing the cost per asset. So that's QC methods. What else can we do? Utilize some QC data, the smart use of metadata. Here's a lovely graphic I made earlier. But it's based on a real report. Most of the automated QC systems these days will be able to detect the lineup information you generally get at the beginning of a media file. Bars and tones, clocks, etc. That's going to appear on the timeline. It's also going to detect blacks and silences. And in this case, it's very clear to see that all the blacks and silences are the same size. You can see that visually, mark them up, and the guess is that between that are the segments of the video track that we actually want. So if we can bring that together and infer from that the actual segment data, we can then automate processes to take that segment data and create it in deliverables. So ultimately we drive automated processes from the QC data, further downstream processes that otherwise would have to be done separately, maximizing operator efficiency and reducing the number of steps in our workflow, reducing complexity and increasing efficiency. So finally, what else can we do? We can use the QC data to increase the productivity in the workflow and improve the workflow itself. Here's a very simplified diagram of a typical media installation. On the left-hand side, we've got ingest, whether that be tape or file. In the middle, we've got some storage there. We've got an edit at the top, be that craft edit or just top and tailing, whatever. Some transcoding at the bottom to create the deliverables on the right-hand side. And that gives us 5 potential QC points in the workflow. If we take those 5 QC points and represent the data as we did before on a timeline, we can see in this example that we've got a file that's past QC except for this element in the middle where we've got some low chroma, some black and white image. As it happens, that was there for editorial reasons. I think that's a bit of CCTV footage in the middle there. It's detected an event in there, but we can say that we're okay with that. That's not an error, it's just an event. A mark it as passed. That decision is then inferred at each step down that if the file is further QC'd, until we get after edit where we can see that the event has changed in duration. That might be because we've made an edit, we've actually changed the duration of that event. It might be because we've actually introduced an error in that workflow. In this case, we're going to say that it's okay, mark it as green, and that trust is then inferred further through the workflow. With this trust, we can also apply different types of QC, and I put them all on the same timeline in the same way. So before ingest, you might apply a different type of QC or a different QC profile than you might in other places in the workflow. And you still get that data, and you can still see those changes, but the changes that are relevant to that part of the workflow. So ultimately, bringing all that data together, we can apply a manufacturing concept, which is this of constant improvement, where automation begins to be the thing that detects the problem, the QC automation. The problem interrupts the workflow, we stop the work, we fix the problem, and we incorporate the improvements back into the workflow. And we get a continuous virtual circle of the workflow improving and the quality of our output improving. So we can identify workflow errors, continuously improve the workflow, reduce the amount of rework that we have to do because the workflows have been improved, and therefore we eliminate waste and we increase ultimate productivity. So in summary, by combining the best elements of spot check, full manual QC and automated content verification, we unify QC and get a more effective QC process through unified QC. Using that data, we can use unified QC data to drive other process of the workflow and maximizing operating efficiency and reducing workflow steps. And finally, we can use the QC data to improve the overall workflow with the virtuous circle on the previous slide. If you want to know more about this, please do come and talk to anyone here on the booth. We've been talking about this a lot, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you more about it. Alternatively, you can also sign up to the AmberFin blog, where there's plenty of really useful articles on this and other topics. It's at blog.amberfin.com, and we'd be delighted to see you there. Thank you very much.